Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Scott, Baked Turtle here, bringing you a Pokemon Draft Team preview. So, this is for the TML Draft League, the Machamp Lounge, and this is the, I think, Season 8 of the TML, and it's a pretty cool league. So, we are using Gigantamax, but this has a a rule where you can't use offensive items. So things like Life Orb, Expert Belt, things like that. But you can use Assault Vest, Heavy Duty Boots, Leftovers. You can use defensive items. You can use berries. Things like that. So it's trying to help balance the Gigantamax a little bit, but we'll see. But yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna be showing you the team that I drafted. And then, look forward to the first battle. It is versus, who was it? Shit, can't even remember right now. Let me look it up. So, first battle in the TML was Jose, I think. Yeah, it was Jose. Yeah, Jose, it's my first battle, so look forward to that. He's got a broken Gigantamax Pokemon in Rillaboom, but, anyways. So, looking forward to the season. But anyways, before I get too much into the mumbo-jumbo, let me get into my team that I drafted. So, I was fortunate to be in a good position. I was number 3 in the draft, so 3rd pick, and I was able to get a single strike Urshifu here. So there's no sprite, so you can't see the Urshifu. But yeah, I've got Urshifu here. I'm really excited to use this. It got the Wicked Blow, got the Unseen Fist, has great coverage. And as you can see on the movesets, it's got Wicked Blow, Sucker Punch for priority. That's Stab, so that's really good. Bulk Up gives it some setup. I can bulk up Sucker Punch, bulk up Wicked Blow, Drain Punch to get some health back. It also gets access to acrobatics, close combat, fire punch coverage, ice punch coverage, Iron Head, and poison jab for those fairies. It does get Stone Edge as well, taunt, thunder punch, U-turn, Zen headbutt. It's got coverage everywhere, guys, and it's got really high HP stat, really high defense, but not looking good on that special defensive side. And the speed is under base 100, so that's honestly, I think that's the only thing really keeping it from being banned and broken. It's easier to revenge with those base 100s or base 98s, things like that. And that special defense is very lacking, but very, very strong Pokemon here, especially with the Wicked Blow. And yeah, and next pick, I wanted to pick pretty much the best counter to Urshifu with Galarian Weezing. So wanted to make sure people had less options to deal with Urshifu. So I got Galarian Weezing here. It helps me with Defog. It gets Will-O-Wisp. Good fairy type with Strange Steam. Clear Smog to get rid of those hazards. Not the hazards, the setup. It does get Toxic Spikes hazards as well. Aromatherapy, so it's a little bit of a cleric. Destiny Bond is good. Has Fire Blast and Flamethrower coverage. Haze if I don't want to go Clear Smog. Just has a lot of options. Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb for that poison. It actually gets Thunderbolt and Taunt, Toxic, Will-O-Wisp. So very, very versatile. Does get, I think I see, yeah, Pain Split. That's the only way you can recover. That honestly, that's the only downside. It doesn't get like any kind of reliable recovery. And it actually has really great abilities with Levitate. Neutralizing Gas can cancel out my opponent's abilities. So if it's like a weather team, or if it's got like Flash Fire or Mold Breaker, or just things like that, you can neutralize the ability. And Misty Surge, so I can get my own terrain up. Next up, I've drafted Arcanine here. Arcanine's a great Pokemon to have. Great fire type, one of the best in the draft league, with Intimidate ability and those defensive stats, high HP, pretty high defense and special defense, so it can go bulky, has great speed, great attack, and special attack can go mixed. And Arcanine is really good. So with the extreme speed, priority, Will-O-Wisp for those physical attackers, wild charge coverage for the water types, Morning Sun for reliable recovery. That's huge. It also does get a lot of coverage with close combat, crunch, special side with flamethrower. It gets flame charge for the speed boost, Iron Head for those fairies, play rough, Psychic Fangs, which is good. It gets the new move, Scorching Sands. I love that. It gets some ground coverage for rock types, and it has a chance to burn too. So superpower, toxic, things like that. So really, really good. Next up, I have Magneton here. So this is my like electric type, and this is also a really good steel type here. Trap steel types for my Weezing, and which is pretty good. And unfortunately, there's no like hidden power for this league, so I can't be like trapping other steel types and using like HP Fire or HP Ground. But I can use Magnet Rise, as you can see here. I can be Substitute. I do have the ability to be Analytic, so I can get that a boost in the special attack if I'm going after my opponent. And it gets, fun thing. Too bad it doesn't get the body press like the Magnezone does. That would have been very useful. I don't think I knew about that before drafting it, but yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to mainly use this as like an electric type, steel type, I guess, to be more offensive. But yeah, and the fact that it can still evolve makes it a good candidate for Eviolite. Can be sturdy too, just in case. So very, very good Pokemon here. Good lower tier Pokemon here. Next up, I have my Gigantamax here. I have Appleton. So with the new rules, I can actually have an item on this. I can have a berry. I can be Recycle. I can be Ripen ability. I can be Gluttony ability. Thick Faz, a little situational, but gonna be trying to take advantage of those berries and recycle them. I have reliable recovery. Apple Acid, Draco Meteor is like my stab coverage. Does get body press, so I can go bulky. It does get curse, energy ball. It can go physical too. Look at that stat. The 85 base attack is not bad at all. It does get like earthquake coverage. It can be curse, high horsepower, gyro ball, leech seed. So it can be very annoying. It has good coverage, sucker punch, superpower. So grassy glide, if the terrain is set, but mostly going to be using this as a wall, water types, electric types, things like that. Next up, I have Braviary here. So Defiant Pokemon here, which is good for those Intimidators, for Defog. This actually gets Defog. This is one of those Pokemon which I deem has one of the try attacks, not the try attacks, I don't know how to explain it, but it gets the 3 moves that I look for the most in like a flying defogger. It gets U-turn, roost, defog. Those 3 moves to me makes a really good Pokemon. So I can defog, I can U-turn out there, and I can stay healthy with roost. Those are all very good to have, and Braviary does that. Really, really high base HP and defense, special defense. So it's kind of like Arcanine in that sense, but it doesn't get Intimidate. But it can definitely be very viable with the bulk up set. It can be special defensive with bulk up. I can be Substitute. And I don't think Return is in this league. Return is only for the national decks, and we're not doing national decks. So this has pretty good coverage with close combat. Heat Wave for special, Facade, Iron Head, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, Superpower, U-turn, Zen Headbutt. So pretty good coverage. Highest attack, good speed tier, so I can be Scarf. I can blast in holes, Brave Bird, things like that. So, all right, sorry about that, guys. My dog's barking. And anyways, so yeah, Braviary pretty good with the Brave Bird and pretty good punch holes. So let me get to the second half of my team real quick. Let me do it before you guys can see. There we go. So I got Espeon here. I was like thinking of a lot of different things, but I feel like a fast psychic type would be good. I needed some speed on my team, and Espeon has always been putting in the work versus me that I've seen it do. And yeah, so Dazzling Gleam, it does get Heal Bell. Dazzling Gleam is good coverage for those dark types. Psyshock and Calm Mind, Psyshock, Psychic, Magic Bounce. So that's really good. Shadow Ball coverage. Yeah, Expanding Force. So with that new move, it can actually do a lot of damage. Grass Knot for those 4 times weak to the ground. And yeah, that's pretty much what it gets. Trick, Yawn, kind of situational. Trick for those if I'm choiced. Yawn for trying to force switches. I can be Calm Mind. I can be Sub Calm Mind with Psychic. That's a good speed, good special attack. So it's really strong. Magic Bounce ability allows me to come in and not get like paralyzed or toxic or things like that. So next up, I've got Palossand here. So Palossand's really good. I've been wanting to use it a lot lately, so I decided to draft it. It's great for my team, worked well. Bulky with reliable recovery, can give me some stealth rocks. Needed a well-needed ground type to stop those electric type attacks. Good coverage with Giga Drain, Scorching Sands, got the new attack, and that's Stab, so it has a chance to burn, which is really good. And yeah, so if you look at the stats, we're really going to be defensively, physically defensive, has a good special attack, so that's respectable. But it does get like Ancient Power, Destiny Bond, Energy Ball, so it has good grass coverage. Poltergeist, I'm not going to be using it physically as much. It does get Psychic coverage for like those dark types. I mean, like poison, or yeah, what do I need Psychic types for? I mean, I don't really need Psychic for much, maybe the poison types, but I got ground coverage for that. Sludge Bomb for grass and fairies, Toxic, Trick, you know, things like that. So not a bad Pokemon. I like the reliable recovery. I like the option for Stealth Rocks, Scorching Sands. It's all good. Next up, another questionable pick for me. I felt like I was still lacking in the speed and still lacking in like just offensive power. So decided to go with Durant here. Does get Hone Claws, First Impression, Iron Head, Stone Edge. So Hustle with Hone Claws can help me not miss as many attacks and make it really strong. Pretty good, respectable defense. So I'm gonna be taking some hits on the defensive side. But yeah, so Hone Claws setup. It does get Crunch. It does get Iron Head, like I said. Rock coverage, which is big. It does get X Scissor, Super Power, which is really good coverage for like other steel types. But yeah, so, and last but not least, I was able to snag up my Milotic here. Interesting enough, this does get the new move Flip Turn, so that's going to be interesting, so I can get some more momentum on the team. Dragon Tail to phase out my opponent. Haze to get rid of setup, recover. Milotic just doing what Milotic does best, and Walls with the Marvel Scale ability. Recover, reliable recovery, can Toxic, can Scald, can Coil, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, you know, Toxic, Surf. Oh, it gets Triple Axle. It's interesting. So yeah, just pretty much straightforward. You know what it's gonna do. I can actually, you know, meme with it a little bit with Coil and go physical. But yeah, so anyways, that's the team, guys. Let me know who you think is gonna be the MVP. I do have my Urshifu, so you know that's gonna be hard to beat here. So Urshifu, Galarian Weezing, Arcanine, Appleton, you know, a lot of mods here, but I'm not too like, I want to, not proud, but just, I don't think this is one of my best teams that I've ever drafted before. You know, I drafted to fit roles. You know, I needed defoggers, I needed steel types, I needed certain types, I needed certain roles to be done, and yeah, so anyways, please leave a like down below for the video if you liked. Comment down below who you think is going to be like the MVP of the season. Probably Urshifu, but perhaps not. Maybe who do you think is going to be the sleeper MVP? And maybe predict what do you think my record is going to be. I think it is 12 weeks. Let me check. Yes, 12 weeks. So what do you think my record is gonna be? Am I gonna be 8-4, 7-5, 6-6, 9-3, perhaps 12-0, or 0-12? Let me know down below. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you want, maybe share the video. You know, share it with your friends, other Pokemon people. And yeah. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time, and look forward to the next video, which should be a battle. All right, take care. Peace.